We are streaming.
Let me get over here and start a party. Oops. Get out of there. KP, you there?
We're live.
All right. The microphones are hot.
We're live.
Hey, hello everybody. My apologies for our technical difficulties. We tried to be fancy tonight, trying to do things remotely, and it didn't quite work out how we expected it to work out. But you're here. You got us. Is in touch with the Miller boy tonight. Drill was not be able to join us because of the technical difficulties. But we appreciate you guys who are looking for us, who've been looking for us. And I won't be on here a whole lot because I know you guys want to hear me talk and have a monologue the whole time. But you can. I am up on Facebook, so if you have questions or anything, please send a comment in there, and I'll be able to get it and I can respond to it. But I won't be on here a whole lot because I know you guys want to hear me talk and have a monologue the whole time. But you can. We are. That didn't work well. Okay, now we're good. So anyway, send me chat messages and I'll respond best I can. Hopefully you guys are on my Facebook page with Darren Miller because Gerald, all you're going to be able to do is just communicate with him directly. But anyway, the show that we were going to do tonight was about the 13th Amendment. And I know many of you understand the 13th Amendment to mean that it abolished slavery in the United States. And that's what I was taught when I was a kid. But I've gone and now my adulthood, and after doing some more research, I've learned that amendment, there was a clause in there, was a comma, and there was an except in there. You guys always know what a comma and except means. And with the 13th Amendment, it was no different. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery except for terms of punishment. So if you commit a crime and you're going to be punished in the United States of America, you could be put and be kept in slavery or in indentured servitude is what they refer to it as well. So it was interesting for me to kind of go back in there. Joel told me that years ago that slavery was not over. Of course, I didn't buy that and didn't listen to him. But now over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so, after reading through a lot of the information I've read through, some stuff I read through today, the 13th Amendment says that it abolished slavery except as punishment for a crime. And so those of you who know the history of the 13th Amendment, it was passed after the Emancipation Proclamation, 1864, 1866, 8, somewhere in there, 1865. So at the turn of the century in the 1900s is when the 13th Amendment was ratified. During that time was Reconstruction. That's when the Jim Crow laws came in. And if you have not seen the documentary 13th on Netflix, please go and watch that. And it's very, very, very informative. And it makes a lot of connections that will fill in the gaps and that you may have about gaps of understanding that you may have about the abolishment of slavery. And so they'll tell you the stories about how after the late 1800s, how in particular in the South, in Mississippi and Alabama, there were fields down there of tobacco, fields down there of cotton, other crops down there that the fields needed to be tended to. Slavery was over with, and so they had no immediate free labor to be able to do that. And so there were numerous African American men in particular who were jailed for loitering, jaywalking, you know, any kind of petty crime. And we're getting huge sentences, you know, for loitering. They got 20-year sentences. Well, the reason that is because of this 13th Amendment. And if you commit a crime, then you can be put back into indentured servitude, which is a nice way of saying slavery. And so that was what we were going to get into tonight. And I'm a little disappointed that we won't be able to talk about that because I know Gerald has some very, very strong opinions on that. But we try to do it best we can. We're trying to get, like I said, we're trying to upgrade and trying to get fancy. Gerald actually is back at work, and those of you know he's commuting back and forth between here and Sacramento, and so he was not able to be in the studio, and so we tried to do it remotely tonight, and obviously it did not work. So we're going to have to work on that part of it on our end to be able to provide you with this extraordinary content that we come up with on a weekly basis. One of the other things that we got going on is we're going to be creating a Miller Boys with a Z, Miller Boys Facebook page, so that when we log in through SuperMex International, that you're going through a single portal to be able to get to us. Because right now you can go through one of three portals. You can go through my Facebook portal, Gerald's Facebook portal, or through the SuperMex portal. And it gets a little cumbersome and confusing at times trying to respond to people's messages and keep up with the questions that you guys are sending us. So we're working on going to a universal site to be able to do that, as well as create a Twitter page and an IG page as well, so that we can be able to increase our accessibility to the public. So be looking for those things coming up here in the next week or so. Also, as I always talk about, some announcements that are going on. I'll do some announcements real quickly. These are predicated here in the Fresno area. First of all, make sure that you are completing your census. That's not just Fresno. That's everywhere. Complete your census. Go to 2020census.org. Complete your census there. Like I said, it takes less than 5 minutes when you log in. You don't need any special information or special login codes or anything. Just go to that website, 2020census.org. Complete that information and online, and it's just secure information, a secure place for you to put your information. There's also an 800 number. I'm going to see if I can get that information. It's 1844 something. I'm going to see if I can get that number real quick so that I can give you that phone number, because some people are saying that they're not able to, don't have the technology to be able to access the census database in that form. This doesn't help. How to respond. Chinese, Vietnamese, where is English? Information services for people with deaf and hard of hearing. Okay, so here it is. The number is 844-330-2020. Again, that number for English, 844-330-2020. If you want that information in Spanish, you can also call to have the information given to you in Spanish. That number is 844-468-2020. Again, the Spanish number is 844-468-2020. So those of you who do not have the accessibility on the computer, which are none of you guys, because you guys are watching us right now on Facebook, but if you do know people who do not have accessibility to technology, you can give them those two numbers. I will actually also post those on my Facebook page so that you've got that information as well. But one way or another, we need to make sure that everybody's participating in the census, getting all that information. They extended the deadline for submitting information to the end of October, but they are starting the second phase now, where people are going to be making phone calls, calling you at home, coming by your home to make sure that you get that information completed. There's a huge push in the African American community. There's going to be a week of action, direct action responses that are going to be coming up, and please be looking for that information as well on my Facebook, as well as my those of you who get emails from me will be getting that information in that form as well. Next, make sure that you're registering to vote. You can go to the Secretary of State, so sos.ca.gov. Thank you, KP, although that's a little blurry. So again, that's sos.ca.gov. You can go online and register to vote. The reason why that's important here in the state of California, remember, we're going to be 100% vote by mail participants this in November, which means that everybody's going to get their ballot mailed to them at their house. And then you'll have one of three ways to be able to return it. You can complete it at your home, put it in the self-addressed paid envelope, sign the back of it, put it in the U.S. mail, and that means that you voted. You can take your ballot to a vote center. There's vote centers that are it's all throughout your county. You have to go to your county election site or election hub to be able to find out where those sites are located. You can go to those vote centers. You can change your party affiliation. You can change your address. You can update information. You can do all those type of things. In addition to voting the same day that you go in at those vote centers. So that's number two. And then thirdly, you can complete your ballot, put it in the self-addressed, self-stamped envelope, and you can go and drop it off at any of the drop box facilities that are in your particular locale. And so you just have to do a little bit of research to find out where those locations are. But there's one of three ways you can vote. You can vote from home, you can go to a vote center, or you can take your ballot and drop it off at one of the vote collection centers, the secured sites. And so that's how California is going to be voting in November. Fresno County did it in March with the primary. In 2018, Madera County participated in both the primary and the general election, voting by mail. And as you look at the state numbers about participation rates, the participation rates are going up across the board for all ethnicities and all people in the state of California. And so please take advantage of that. Again, go to the website is sos.ca.gov to be able to do it online. If you have a house party or you're having a family reunion or something like that, and you want somebody to come out and register folks to vote, please get in contact with me. I have a little bag that I carry around with me that I'm committed to carrying with me everywhere, every event that I go to, so that I am ready and prepared to register people on the spot as best I can. So I want to be able to make sure that I'm doing my part to get people registered. So with that, I'm not going to chew through any more time. I don't have any messages on it, so I'm not sure. I guess everybody's on Drill's side. But anyway, we will be back next Tuesday. I will be in studio for sure. We'll make sure that we get Drill hooked up so that he can call in to be able to participate in the conversation we have. And we'll pick up our conversation about the 13th Amendment next week. That'll give you guys some time, give you guys a week to be able to do your homework. Again, it's called 13th, and it's on Netflix. I think the documentary is about an hour and a half. I think it's an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes long. Very, very, very informative. I suggest that you go and look at that maybe even a couple times if you can before our conversation next Tuesday. So with that, I'm going to get off the air with you. I look forward to hearing you guys and talking with you. Communicate with you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. again for In Touch with the Miller Boys right here on Supermax International. Peace, everybody.